Okay.
G'day everyone, Dan here. Welcome to North Queensland Barbecue and Brewing. It's New Year's Day, so Happy New Year to everyone. Something different, I've been seeing a lot of these pig shots on YouTube videos out of America, so I'm going to make some pig shots myself actually. And they're fairly interesting little cook, so see how we go. But basically, I'm mucking around. I didn't have any cabana, so I'm using chorizo instead because everything's closed New Year's Day. But basically I'll start with the filling. So the filling, I'm just going to add basically a full pack of the Philadelphia cream cheese here into my bowl. I've pre-prepared a jalapeno. I cut up two actually, so they're good to go. And I add this into our bowl. And the filling here, it's basically just a cheese filling with a bit of barbecue rub, jalapeno, from what I can see most people do, and you wrap it up like bacon, but we'll get into that in a minute. So there's the cream cheese. This is, I diced this really fine, this jalapeno, so that's diced up real fine. Probably don't need it all. I might actually go with that there, because yeah, I'm going to add a bit of Matt Anderson's rub that he makes, so I'll leave that out and just see how we're looking, because I really don't want it to blow my head off, but I still want a bit of flavour to it, so I'll just get this. And basically we just add some cheddar as well. This is just the old generic Coles Tasty, so add, I don't know, that much. What do you reckon, Louise?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to add is just a little bit of seasoning. I've got some of the rub some butt. I don't know. I don't have much at the moment. I would have rather have used another one, but I don't have any, so this one will do. I'll just add a little bit of that. Add a bit of salt, garlic, and all that. And then I'm going to add some bull dust, some of Matt Anderson's bull dust here, which is he makes it. You've seen him on the channel before. So I'm going to add probably about, you know, just a heaped kitchen tablespoon and mix all this up. So I'll mix all this up really nice. I probably actually could have let that cream cheese come to room temperature a bit better. But I'll mix all this up. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and we'll go into prepping the actual pig shots. So we're using this streaky bacon. This is really large stuff here. So what I've got to do is I've got to cut it in half, but I measured the length. What I did is I put a piece on, rolled it to where I thought it'd be right, and I knew I'd get the overlap, and I just cut myself a piece that was to that length. So I just check that before I start slicing. 1, 2, and then yeah, 3. So that should work. So what I'll do is I cut this in half. I'll cut it down there like that, and then slice it down the middle as such. And there's my bacon pieces as such. Once again, pretty simple sort of thing to do. I've already made up a few here to go. So what I'll do is to start off with, I've got a toothpick here and I've got my cranksky. So I wrap that around, get it so it's reasonably tight. It's a bit fiddly. This is my first time doing them myself, so, and I just make sure I'm going through both pieces there, through the cranksky and then through the other side. As you can see, I stuffed it through the other side of that. That's actually pretty good. And so what I do then is I'm just going to grab a handful of this, stuff it in there like such, and I'm actually going to put another toothpick in the top. So I'm using 2. You could use 1. I just want to make sure it all holds together. And there we go. That'll obviously melt and cook. That's how we're making them. So we'll come back when we're ready to throw these in the smoker. Okay, so these are ready to go in. I've got the smoker sitting at 150 degrees Celsius here, so I'm going to put them in closer to the firebox end so I can render that fat down really well. I can adjust that during the cooking process if I think it's too hot this end, but for now I'll just leave them down there. We'll shut that and I'll come back in probably about an hour's time and see how they're looking. Okay, so this is how we're looking about an hour into the cook. I've had a couple of blowouts, to be expected, but a lot of them are holding up together reasonably well, so yeah, lesson learned for next time. I'll just cut more bacon to wrap them around a bit more, but as a whole they're looking pretty good. They're starting to crispy up a little bit. I was a bit worried they wouldn't, but they seem to be rendering out nice. So yeah, I'll give these probably another hour to be honest. I'll let that bacon really try to crispy up the best I can. It's a little hard in the stick burner as I'm trying to keep the temperature at probably 170 now, 160, 170, and really bake it, but yeah, I can only do what I can do, so we'll see how they turn out. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with where these are at. I've had a couple of blowouts, a few have held together. Lessons learned, make them a little bit shorter, but that's okay. These things happen, especially when you're trying things for the first time. And that's what barbecue's all about, giving things a go for the first time and then perfecting it. So I'm going to take these out, take them upstairs, and we'll give them a taste test once they've cooled down. So this is our final product right here. And I had a couple of blowouts on a few of them, that's alright. They're still reasonably warm. I took them off a couple of minutes ago, but they've come out pretty good. That's a prime example. Some of them blew cheese out when the bacon shrunk. Lesson learnt, maybe make them a little shorter next time. Or, yeah, I'll have to work on them a little bit, but the taste test, I tasted a little bit coming off the bottom and they were pretty good. This is going to be hot, so... I'll blow it up. Bacon's a little chewy, but the filling, the jalapeno, it's almost like eating a pizza, a mini pizza. So, I'm going to work on these. I'm going to do them a lot more, but for a first attempt, I'm actually pretty happy with them. I keep seeing them, so yeah, really happy. I think they'd be a lot easier in a pellet grill than an electric smoker. And I don't usually say that, and I won't say that lightly, because I don't like pellet smokers, but I think having the electric smoker, being able to control the temperature a little bit better would make it a lot easier. But there you go, it's my first attempt at pig shots. They've come up alright. Maybe I could make them a little shorter. These are about 3 centimetres high, or 2.5, 3 centimetres, but the bacon shrinks and it doesn't sing. So yeah, give them a go. Use whatever rub, cheese filling you want, and just try them, because that's actually really nice. So until next time, guys, take care.